And you may notice the corner of the screen here, the keyboard. I have the Amiga 2000 home for the holidays. Yeah, we finally got it back. Found out the Agnes chip was blown. I don't know if I mentioned that to you or not. So we had to have it replaced. Except now there's something wrong with our video toaster. Actually, this was wrong before. I just thought it was part of the same problem, you know, the Agnes chip. But it wasn't. It's something else, I don't know, something with the toaster itself, so we have to get that fixed. But the Amiga itself works fine, so I'm going to be able to show you a few things. I realized we kind of strayed from the horror theme there. You got to see me and Sean Patterson cleaning up the living room there for about 12 minutes. I'm sure that was really thrilling for you. Yeah, we didn't mean for that to be so long, it's just we kind of turned the camera on and forgot it was running. Anyway, to start things off, for our little computer section here, I thought you might like a look at my new game, namely Aquaventura. Yeah, so here it is. Check it out and enjoy, and I'll get back to you after. Bye.
Psygnosis presents a really cool painting. It's actually a pretty good rendition of the painted cover art of this game, which I think I showed earlier. So this, of course, is Aquaventura on the Amiga. And this is Sean from the future coming at you from March 28th, 2019, the night thereof. Now, this intro absolutely blew me away when I saw it in 1992. Aquaventura came on 2 discs, I believe, and the entire first disc was this intro. And that was it. But full screen, 3D animation. Now, this is all pre-rendered, obviously. But I do like all the little tricks here they use to kind of squeeze more animation in. Basically only having small portions of the image actually in motion. And so he's getting ready to launch. He takes off. This guy watching and gets nuked by the thrusters. Just a pair of smoking boots remains. And the guy just keeps going, no fucks given. Well, what's he gonna do? Turn around and apologize? I mean, no, he's on a mission here. So he's heading off into space. And it looks like his ship just blew up. I'm not sure what the story's supposed to be there. That you were going off on a mission and then your ship got nuked and now you can't go home, so you're trapped on this ocean planet, I guess? I don't know. Anyway, here we go. Aquaventura from Psygnosis. Great stuff. Psygnosis did some great games for the Amiga. And really knew how to take advantage of the hardware, and they often had just amazing soundtracks. So I fudged this a little bit for the retro video here. I was not able to record the stereo audio track from this. It was originally recorded back in the day because it used an audio format that I need a special player in order to access, and I'll spare you all the technical mumbo-jumbo. But suffice it to say, I could only record the alternate mono audio track from these. But I fudged it a little bit for the intro there because it was really just music other than that one single shot and then the thing exploding. I thought, you know what, we can do away with that sound effect to have the music in stereo for the opening. So that's what I did. So this is basically Commander Aldrin. Is his first name Buzz? Yeah, so it's basically just kind of giving you the brief here on what you got to do. Pretty simple. So this is essentially a 3D shooter, circa 1992. So it uses all of these sprites that appear to be 3D. Kind of similar to Vector Man on the Sega Genesis, actually. Similar kind of graphical idea there, which I think came out around the same time as this, actually. So this is something I always thought was really cool whenever I'd see a game like this, where it uses the filled polygon graphics to actually give you a full 3D environment. Now, obviously, this environment is quite simple by today's standards. It's basically just a wide open ocean and you know, you have your ship modeled in 3D and the some of the things that you have to shoot at. But quite cool. See, like, listen to this music. It's freaking awesome. So here we got a 3D modeled pyramid with some spherical sprites on top. It's not actually 3D modeled sprites. It's made, or 3D modeled objects there on top. It's sprites made to look like 3D objects. So kind of a graphical trick there to make it look a little more robust there. And so this is a combination, essentially, of filled polygon graphics and cleverly scaled and rotated sprites to create the illusion of this 3D environment. It's pretty cool. Oh, we got a missile chasing us. Look out! Look out! So pretty simple here. Most of the levels of this game followed a similar pattern. So you'd have a pyramid like this with several power generators around it. So you'd have to take out the power generators to kill the power to the pyramid. Then the pyramid would, well, you'll see what happens. But so each level gets successively more difficult, where I think you'd have more pyramids, more power things to take out. So in this case, it's just stage 1, so it's fairly straightforward. You have one pyramid with 4 power pylons around it. You take out the pylons, it automatically zeroes it on the pyramid. The top of the pyramid opens up, and then it spits out all of the individual components that make up the boss for this level. So in this case, it's a big centipede guy made out of those... Now this is interesting. It's actually these spherical appearing sprites, scaled and rotated, and then wireframe legs. So it's like partly 3D, partly sprite. So it's kind of an interesting combination that they did here. So then as you blow away components of the boss, he reconfigures, in this case, into a smaller centipede. And then there we go. Now this one's fairly simple. Obviously in later levels, the bosses would be made of more components, more spheres, and some of them would shoot at you and stuff like that, so it got more difficult as you went. I forget exactly how many stages there were, but I'm not sure if I ever actually managed to finish it. I mean, I remember I got fairly far into it, but I don't know if I actually managed to get all the way through it. But I really enjoyed this a lot. I mean, it's fairly simple. I mean, I just enjoyed shooter games generally. Found them very satisfying. And this was one that I think I had asked for Christmas. If you look at the beginning of, I think, the Sonic the Hedgehog Part 3 video, there's a little bit of an update, or, you know, things I got for Christmas section at the very beginning of it. And this is one of the games that I showed at the beginning. I didn't show any gameplay, I just showed the box, basically. Hey, look what I got. But, so an early holiday update, circa 1992. This kind of thing I always thought was cool, too. Like, you really get the 3D effect here when you go down a tunnel. So in this case, it's a wireframe tunnel. And we, once again, have these cool scaled sprites that have the appearance of 3D objects. So Psygnosis was very clever like that, and they often did sort of experimental things along those lines to make the most of the technology. They did a lot of cool games over the years. Like this one, and Awesome, I've talked about before, and there's one called Leander, which is a really good hack and slash sort of platformer. Did Microcosm, one of the an earlier CD-ROM game on the Amiga, which was later ported to other platforms. Did Shadow of the Beast, which was a series, I think it was a trilogy of games. It was quite good. It's kind of similar to Altered Beast on the Genesis. And there we go. Colony 1 liberated. Energy replenished. Missiles replenished. Plasma now available. Oh, you get weapon upgrades as you go, too. Now these cool 3D rendered screens here. So there's one more thing I wanted to show you, which is basically if you die, much like the cinematic, they have a beautiful 3D rendered death scene. And here it is. Basically just your ship at the bottom of the ocean, wrecked. And some other kind of ship shows up to, I guess, salvage the wreckage. That's all I have room for commentary, so I guess that's the end of the commentary. Bye!
Hi, I'm back. Yeah, I'm still up. I'm probably not going to bed tonight at all. It doesn't seem like much point right now, actually, considering it is 7:18 in the morning. Yeah, gotta go to the bank anyway. Got a check for $200 for Christmas, and I wish to cash it today. Just turn off the computer there. Yeah, so there was some, there was a look, gave you a look there at Aquaventura, the latest game from Psygnosis. Okay. They let you see the opening sequence, which I'm sure you'll agree was quite impressive, with all that animation and so forth, all in shades of blue or turquoise, whatever. Yeah, let you see the opening sequence, the first level, and the death scene. Basically, when you see the ship underwater and see something come out over the surface, shine a light, and all the fish swim away. That was the death sequence. Yeah. In that particular game that I was taping there, I only showed you the first level. A game can last like upwards of 45 minutes from beginning to end. I've made it as far as the end of level 7, like fighting the Guardian at the end of level 7. That's as far as I've made it. I haven't been able to get past it. You notice that with the Guardians you blow off chunks of them, like pieces of them, right? Well, I had one piece left to blow away, and my energy ran out and it blew up. That was earlier today, actually. Or yesterday, I guess now. But I wasn't too amused about that, to say the least. After all the work of getting to level 7, there's 8 levels total, okay? So I got to the end of level 7 and then crapped out. Oh well.